Hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, I'm Chris of the Northwest, and it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're deciding on buying food or gasoline, because I don't think you can do both, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
But food gives me gas, so that's a whole different discussion.
Dude, that's the best thing of all.
Tonight, though, we're talking about backpacking. It's like back bacon, but completely different.
Well, it depends on how hot your backpack is. Your back could be big.
No side pack, no fanny pack, no front pack. This is backpacking, baby. And as always, live audience, we want to hear from you because, well, we love hearing from you. The discussion, the comments, the threads, it's fantastic. It's amazing. No, it's not. But
could be.
One co-host likes, one co-host no likes. I'm just going to roll right on and tell you that it's time to bring in our backpacking primate. Some say he cuts down trees, he skips and jumps. He likes to press wildflowers. And others say he puts on women's clothing and hangs around in bars. All we know, well, is that he's called Land Monkey.
And he's okay.
He is okay. And we are glad he's here. On Thursday, all is right with the world.
All right.
When my friends are here.
It is.
At 9 p.m.
It is absolutely 9 p.m. on a Thursday. A good time to be here with my friends. Anybody who heard that intro and is not familiar with Monty Python skits may be having very curious thoughts at the moment. If you did not get that reference, I strongly suggest you type some of those words into Google along with "I'm a lumberjack."
I hesitated.
Don't type them without "I'm a lumberjack."
Correct. Yes. I hesitated, but I just read what's put in front of me, and yeah,
it's good to be loved. All right,
we do love you.
This just fits in. I think GSM times 2 was talking about other things, but he says thanks. We'll work out the details.
As will we.
Yeah, details. What are those?
Internet.
Yeah. That thing will never catch on.
And if it
Keats
does, we'll just shut it down.
Okay.
Keats is okay. There you go.
That's good to know.
Okay. Thank you, Keats. All right. And as always at this point in the show, a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a special thanks to, first of all, Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. Now, Land Sharks has messaged me. I got to put my finger in my ear. This just in from Land Sharks. They are placing a shop. Breaking news indeed. They are placing a shop geocaching order in the next few days. So now would be an excellent, super duper, wonderful, perfectly timed time to get any special orders in to Land Sharks because they'll all be there quite quickly once they get that order in. So if you have something that you're like, I'd like to get that from HQ and you want to save on the shipping, get your order into Land Sharks. All right. So that's, you can check all of that out at landsharkswithaz.ca. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our other corporate Denali level sponsor. That's Gold Country Geotourism. Folks, if you haven't explored Gold Country, if you haven't looked into the Gold Country Geotour, well, now is the time. The sun is starting to come out more. We're about to get longer days. Plan your trips. Get up to Gold Country. See what a little bit of Gold Country has to offer. Follow them on Facebook at Explore Gold Country. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. And most importantly, go to exploregoldcountry.com and plan your visit. All right.
Indeed.
And folks, you know what? If you just want to know more about supporting this show, well, we'd sure appreciate that. And you can just head on over and click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Hey, and I just have to comment that the days, well, they are getting longer, not in the 24-hour sense, but in the daylight sense.
Yes.
We're getting a little more daylight each and every day because that's how God designed it. It has nothing to do with the abomination known as daylight saving time. Because all you're doing there is stealing my glorious morning sunshine and sticking it in the evening. Just saying. I don't really have any strong feelings on the matter, but don't forget to change your clocks forward this weekend, 1 hour.
My favorite reference to daylight savings time ever was, and it may have even come from a farmer's almanac. I can't remember where I read it, but it's like taking your quilt, cutting off the top, and sewing it onto the bottom.
And then convincing yourself the blanket is longer.
It's longer.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. But yes, remember to change your clocks on Sunday, because otherwise you're going to be either early or late to everything, and everybody will point at you and laugh.
Yeah. And I drew the short straw and get to be there at work live for the 2 a.m. time shift.
So you get an extra hour.
No, it gets taken from me.
Oh, so how does that work? Do they
It's
dock your pay an
spring
hour?
forward thing? Yeah. Let's just not talk about it and move on to something fun.
You're the one that brought it up.
Hey, well, I don't want people to be late to church on Sunday.
Oh,
all right.
So make sure you set your clock forward.
All right. What a guy. Taking one for the team.
Use your phone or any other smart device that does it.
That will
you.
actually change the time for you. Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, if you're going to an event on Sunday, you know what? Don't get there 2 hours early. Just get there 1 hour early, like the regular
geocachers.
Like most geocachers. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Okay. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Hey, it's time for the glow. And you may ask, what is the glow?
What is the glow?
This is getting harder every week. Thank you.
It's a pregnant
I don't feel
pause.
like that's my job to ask. So
It's dramatic effect.
Do I have to change the show notes so that it is your job?
It's that I'm not paying attention, maybe?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my job.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
It's all yours.
Gentlemen,
I'll just sit up here and look down on you.
Sorry, what? Are we doing a podcast?
Huh?
Gentlemen, you're in good form this week.
Oh, wow. I'm stuck in the middle with you. Clowns to the left
It's a
of me,
wit's end
and
sandwich.
jokers to the right.
Okay. The glow, if we can get back to this,
What is
the
glow?
geocaching log of the week. That's what it is. It's the geocaching log of the week. So whether you read it or whether you wrote it, we want to hear about it, because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email or a recording to feedback@cachingw.com. You can call into 253-693-TFTC and show us just how you glow.
Well, and this glow, wow, got to be an old cache. The 5 times Family Johnson, 5X Family Johnson is either 5 times as many or they're just really large. It's a 5X family. I don't know. But they found a cache called The Burn. And that's GC. You get it ready? This is a long one. You got to write this down. GC 142.
Quick question. Does that mean we have to stop the podcast?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not unless 142 is D in decimal or hexadecimal.
Yeah, something. Yeah, this is an old cache.
Okay.
Not that old cache.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay.
Please continue.
And this old cacher will read the log, which says, planned a trip to Hamber Ridge to get the oldie there and had forgotten I had this oldie on the list until hubby suggested we stop here on our way back home to Vancouver, Washington. The road route to this one was much easier to follow, shorter, although there were more potholes. We passed some ATVers and some shooting practice going on. The day was gorgeous and the trees so green. Found the trail to start out and came across a trail that led through some ferns steeply down. I think we've been there. Met a spider on the way down that I moved. Ferns are tough plants. I fell on my behind twice going down and was thankful that the ferns don't break off or uproot. Sheesh. I wandered a bit till my eyes lit upon an item that begged to be inspected. It was beautiful. Geo evidence proved I was in the right spot. Made the find with a good container, dry log, and some swag. This does not need evidence as marked. Signed the log and filled the container with swag. Cash on.
Nice. Do you think that's extra ferns they put in there as swag?
It could be. They're helpful when sliding down hills. You could get muddy retrieving lockpicking cache from a city park.
You never know.
It's possible.
It's always important to have a towel with you, because when you get your pants muddy from going caching, you don't want to get your seats muddy. So you put the towel down.
There you go. Good
Ford
advice.
Prefect always had a towel, I think. It's good.
Yes.
He did.
Brightling says, Hember, is that how you're saying it?
That's how I said it. Doesn't
Ember
mean it's
Ridge
right.
Is a GCA5 is a Jasmer grid filler for a lot of folks.
There you go.
Oh, that's on planned trip to Hember Ridge. Gotcha. I'm like, that's not the cache we.
But it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the
Don't
area.
forget your towel.
That's
Thank
right.
you very much. And thanks
Well,
for all the fish.
And your battlefish, yeah.
Yeah. And other things.
Komokino got it.
Other things you shouldn't forget is to use hashtag backpack in the chat in tonight's show. If you want to add any thoughts to the conversation, we would love to hear from you. Our chat lackey is on his game tonight. He'll be making sure he catches any hashtag backpack comments. And as well, if you've got something to bring up in the after show, maybe it isn't a topic or an idea or a thought or an opinion or news, or I could just keep going, but I'm going to stop there, that you would like to discuss, use hashtag FTAS, AFTAS, for the after show. And we'll discuss that in the after show.
Wow.
And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention hashtag podcast baking. We want to know what you're baking tonight. So let us know. Hashtag podcast baking. All right.
I'm not baking anything, by the way.
Not at the moment.
No,
I got
the
bake oven going behind me here. So
the last batch of banana bread I made last weekend, it's gone now, but it was very good. It came out very good.
How come I didn't know about this?
It had chocolate chips in it, and I was not willing to share.
No, well, that's the good reason why. Okay.
Yeah.
there you go. I will tell you, speaking of hashtag podcast baking, one person who is an amazing hashtag podcast baker is Rock Chalk. And I don't know if people know this, but Rock Chalk is quite the dessert baker. So the folks at HQ are very lucky every once in a while when he brings in something new that he's discovered or decided to try and create. So
nice.
There you go.
Well, I believe that was a hashtag lockdown skill he learned.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And just in case people think that I'm starting to be nice to Rock Chalk, I'm just passing that piece of information along. You can still have whatever opinions about him you'd like.
He's just casting
Just
that
a good
line out
baker.
there. He's gonna fish on any minute now.
I thought you were getting soft on us.
No, not when it comes to Rock Chalk. No, it's all good.
Hey,
anyways,
we
do
have some other
news?
news.
Yeah,
We do.
Besides the ongoing Rock Chalk feud, is there any other news?
Exactly. Or in this case, the Rock Chalk Love Fest, which I don't know what to do with.
No,
so let's just
awkward.
move on.
Awkward.
Hey,
what?
This Saturday, yes, Saturday, March 19th. I don't know if you're doing anything. You're probably not. You know what? Go out to one of the state parks. That's a Washington state park, by the way. It's their birthday. So bring them a cake.
Happy
or
birthday.
Not.
That would be a
Saturday,
really nice thing to do, is to bring some baked goods for the rangers at the park.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Would you trust if you were, at the toll
I guess
station
maybe
there and
you
people
wouldn't.
just dropping off baked goods? I don't know if I would eat those. Just
I didn't think
I'm
about it from that
thinking
angle.
out loud, right?
Fair enough.
Here's something I'm thinking out loud. You said
Please.
this Saturday, and this Saturday is the 12th. This is a week from Saturday.
A week from Saturday.
Unless
Thank
you're
you.
listening to this podcast next week, in which case it is this Saturday, but it's Saturday the 19th of March.
Sorry, March 19th.
Yes, you've passed
it
Pi
happens
Day,
to be a
you've passed
Saturday.
St. Patrick's Day, you're now on to
Past
Free
the
State
Ides of
Parks Day.
March.
Yes.
Yeah. You got to get a good hike in to get all that green food coloring out of your system.
Yeah.
March 19th, in recognition of Washington State Park's birthday, it's a free day. So you can hit any of the state parks without needing a Discover Pass.
Nice.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Oh,
In honor of Land Monkey, Friday, April 22nd, you can get into Washington State Parks. That's Earth Day. Oh, it's their 108th birthday. They're old.
Okay, gotcha. I was still trying to figure out the connection to Land Monkey, but it's because it's Earth Day. All right, awesome.
Earth Day,
Yes.
April
Yes.
22nd. It's a Friday. So visitors are not required to display a Discover Pass for day use visits in a Washington State Park or lands managed by Washington Department of Natural Resources. That's the DNR. So those are both the passes that you need. You need the Discover Pass and you need the forest.
Discover Pass? No.
Discover?
Forest? I don't know what it is. Somebody will throw it in the chat.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
You on those days, on March 19th, April 22nd, you don't need those.
Okay.
Forest Service Pass.
Yeah. I think I have a DNR, but I think it's different.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Northwest Forest Pass. Thanks,
There you
Brian.
go. Thank you, Brian Lang. Northwest Forest Pass. So I
Excellent.
thought I'd throw that in there. There are caches out there that just didn't get that Discover Pass yet. Maybe your plates will be renewed here in the next week. You just tag it on there and off you go.
Yeah, that's right. Here in Washington, you can do
happened
that.
to me.
You can add it onto your vehicle registration. I've done that.
Mm-hmm. And now's a good time to get it because you're going to want it later in the year.
And so I want to shout out Stephen Hoy is one of our returning guests, and he'll be back on the show in a month or so. We're looking forward to that. But
Does he have a new book out, 106 Hikes?
He has a new book coming out soon, and he's going to be on the podcast to talk about that. But
fantastic.
He's in the live chat tonight, and I think he's referring to when we were saying about showing up with baked goods. He says it's like showing up uninvited to a birthday party. I love it. That's funny.
Now, if they throw a birthday party in the park's public land, I'm going to show up.
Pretty much everybody's invited at that point.
Yeah. Oh. Nope, 107 hikes.
Oh.
Did we miss a book?
That's
His
right.
106 hike, 107.
Have to go check Amazon, see which one you missed there.
Each year it increases by one hike.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Free State Park Day, March 19th, and again April 22nd.
Perfect. Hey, we got some other news. This one's kind of
took a long time to get through that. That was not a long story, but boy, we just beat that one to death.
Well, let's let Land Monkey read this one then.
All right. This is pretty cool. I have some Adventure Lab credits I need to put out for the Trans Canada series. So this is good news for me. And I saw that Keats had shared this earlier in one of our group chats on Facebook. But the Adventure Labs now have a new feature added to them. If you are creating an Adventure Lab, you can theme them. There are 31 different themes in the Adventure Lab Builder that you can add to your adventures. They range from science to exercise to walking tour and possibly up to 28, 29 more. You can select up to 3 themes for your active adventures or for an adventure you are still planning to create. So what I'm reading there is if you've already published an adventure, you can go in and actually add the themes to them, even though it's already a published adventure. So that's cool. The themes will help players choose adventures they're in the mood for. They might be hungry for adventure. They could also select one for food and drink. Or if they're in the need of brain fodder, they could pick technology or even mystery. So that's pretty cool. It sounds like a great innovation. I'm going to assume our good friend RE54321 had something to do with that. Because
that might have been before his change.
Was it? Okay.
Could be.
Congrats to RE54321 if he's listening to the podcast tonight. Yes. He is now the Adventure Lab dude. I think that's his title.
ALD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you
explained I don't know if
that.
that's the official term. It probably won't be on his business card.
It's
but
it's a working
really
title.
should be.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's what's on his office door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. May not be on business cards, but yeah. And I'm glad you explained the themes a bit, because you said they had themes, and all I could think of was stuff like, never mind.
Green Adventures. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Is the place to go?
Never mind. Moving on. What else we got?
I don't know. I think you're old.
Earworms. I planted earworms today. What did you do?
Okay. I read this earlier, and it didn't strike me just now. I did
I'll strike you.
Thank you. There's times I'm really glad we're not in the same space doing this all together.
Punch buggy.
I was just trying to get Land Monkey to choke there is all I was trying to do, but it didn't work.
Nah.
Did a survey or a questionnaire or something for HQ, and it said, if you had to put adventures into a category, what major categories would you choose?
Oh.
I didn't choose 31 different ones. I came up with like 5, but I think that's where this came from.
Well,
so
thank you for contributing to them, Chris.
Yeah.
We appreciate your work.
It was something in the schemes of everything. Hey, another season has begun. And we're not talking about spring yet. That's not here.
Yeah. Not yet.
At least until Saturday when we spring ahead. That the official launch of spring?
That doesn't count. No, it doesn't count for anything
21st,
logical or wonderful at all.
No, it doesn't. But CETO season 1 is here. So attend a CETO event between March 1st. Hey, that's already passed.
Yep.
And May 31st. That has not passed yet as we record this. And you can earn a souvenir because everybody wants a souvenir.
All the cool kids. Yep. Already earned mine. I wasn't even thinking about the souvenir when we went, but there was a rain garden maintenance CETO in fairly nearby here, and so we went out last Sunday and helped out there.
Did you get all the rain out?
We no, that's not exactly how it works.
Oh, okay.
But there was over 30 geocachers there, all doing their gardening, helping out, and it was awesome. It was really, really good. I made a YouTube short for it, so if people are curious about that, they can check out my channel. But
must have been warm if you were wearing shorts.
Indeed,
he's done a lot of those, so go check out Land Monkey's shorts when you have a chance.
Well, I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely, folks, get out, help clean up that game board, whether you're doing rain garden maintenance or invasive species removals, which is getting me out of your basement, or
at least pick up one piece of trash,
or do something. Yeah. But earn that souvenir. Go to a CETO event, help out, clean up that game board, and you'll get a souvenir for it now.
Nice.
Tanfastic.
Wait. It's amazeballs.
It really is.
It doesn't have to be. Hey, tonight, since okay, maybe the seasons aren't changing yet, but I want them to. Right? Kind of done. I liked February was nice. We had some warm days, had some snow, some rain. Now it's March and there's more rain. And I got to get out and mow my lawn. And so I want things to change. So I thought, you know what? Now's a great time. Let's start thinking about a backpacking trip. Not a backtracking trip.
Pip.
Whew.
Okay.
Thanks, Land Monkey.
I'm here to help.
Let's look at a backpacking trip. So here are some thoughts. And folks, if you're listening live, we need your thoughts as well.
There's already some thoughts coming in there. So
that's right.
They're ahead of you.
So backpacking. First thing to remember, you need to plan. Right? Yeah. Now, how many times have we told you about I don't know, what are they called anymore? Can anybody come up with what you're supposed to do before you go out on a trip?
Oh, don't take directions from someone on a riding lawnmower.
Right on the lawnmower. Rule 13.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was 14.
I'm pretty sure it's 13, but maybe it's 14.
They're more guidelines, really.
Yeah. But the 3 T's, I think, is what you're getting at, Chris.
Yes, I was trying to be, I was trying to get people in the chat to toss in 3Ts, 3T.
Well,
We
hey,
got Wet Toaster with Adventure
which is
Smart.
smart. So
Like
yeah,
that.
it's a good starting point. But yeah, folks,
Indeed.
who knows the 3Ts? Type them out in the. There you go. Van Lady has one. Leave a trip plan.
That's right. That Brylang's a little overzealous. 42 essentials.
But take the essentials. That's number 2. And what's number 3?
Towel. Oh wait, no, that's different.
That's number 4.
Okay.
That's the third essential.
Okay.
It's like the 4 Tri-Cities.
It's like Fifth Third Bank.
Okay, so wait. We got the essentials. We got
now it's
trip
just
plan.
getting silly.
Tacos. I like tacos, but that's
and
not
tea.
the one.
Different types of
The
tea.
3 Ts:
Earl Grey,
Earl Grey,
chamomile, and
chamomile, and
breakfast.
breakfast.
Okay,
Oh
guys.
my gosh. Okay.
Somebody
The
bring us
essentials-
back on track.
Training.
Here,
There we
please.
go. Thank you,
Training.
Kitty Quest. There
I was
we
like,
go.
I
Training.
think we did them out of order. I only know them in order.
Now you're all messed
Right?
up.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to go back. So the essentials, training, trip plan. So as you're going, as you're setting your goal for this backpacking trip, you know what? Remember that it's smiles over miles, right? So if you're thinking, I think I could get in 20 miles. I think I could do that. We'll just go. We'll just hit it hard. We'll go. You know what? Don't stress yourself out on these trips. Go for the smiles over the miles. You know what? If it takes you a little extra time and you go 10 miles in a day, and then you get to set up camp next to an incredible lake and enjoy the scenery while the sun's still up, that's better than getting in those extra 10 miles and trying to set up camp in the dark.
Holy crap. That's 32 kilometers. I was thinking 20 miles. That sounds like a lot, but I don't know how many that is. That's 30. Yeah. Don't try and hike 32
Don't do that.
kilometers in a day. That's silly.
No.
Right. But sometimes you get into this mindset of, I want to get there. I want to get there. You can maybe do that in a car, right?
Yeah.
I'll drive until it gets dark and then find something. That doesn't work so much when you're backpacking.
Yeah, because sometimes even if you've hiked all the way up to a cache, you could find out you could drive right to it and then catch a ride
never
back
know.
down with somebody else.
Right.
It could happen, And I see your note there about let the slowest person determine the pace. And speaking as the slowest person on many an expedition, let me just tell you, it's very, very tiring to know that everybody is up there sitting and waiting for you as you pant and wheeze and huff your way to that stop. And then when you get there and you sit for 12 and a half seconds, everybody says, "Are you rested? Ready to go?" No, you've rested here for 20 minutes. I just got here. So there's that.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't want to be as old and flabby and weak as I am, but I am. So there you go.
Yeah. So anyways, don't be overly aggressive in your planning. Take time, enjoy it. Now, you have a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
We'll talk about getting the right size backpack and what you're looking for in a backpack a little bit.
Okay.
But there are ways to pack the backpack that work the best. So you want to put your sleeping bag or your sleeping pad down in the bottom. You want it on the bottom. You want all the big squishable thing on the bottom. Okay, you're going to put that in there. Then you're going to put your food, your cook set, your tent on top of that. You're going to push that down, right? So that's all in there. That's going to be right in the middle of your back, and that's where most of the weight's going to be, right? You want that squishy there on your lower back so it's a little more comfortable. You want the food, the cook set, the tent right there in the middle that can help carry the weight. And then right on top, you need to put the things you're going to get to, like a rain jacket, your snacks.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't put water in your backpack just because it's harder to get to. You're going to want that as you go along, maybe a side pocket, maybe a belt pouch of some sort.
Can I add something else that you put right up at the top, and that's your first aid kit?
Yes, there you go. I like that on the outside of the backpack personally.
Yeah, depending upon
yeah.
how your kit is set up, etc. But yeah.
I like when my companions have it inside because I'm usually the one that gets injured. So I'm flailing on the ground. I'm not looking for my pack. If you guys can reach your first aid kits,
I love the visuals here.
Yes. It's kind of like a turtle.
So you want all the squishy things in your backpack because
Pretty
you're going to be
much, yeah.
laying on it more. Okay?
Yeah.
Just picturing Jim with the backpack like a turtle on his back.
I'd be
Arms and
I'd be
legs flowing.
clumsy.
Komakino says, how about a flask? Yeah, definitely. I always take a flask when I hike, but I don't keep it near the top.
No, keep that right
'cause
in
that's
front
for
of me.
once you get to camp.
I'd rather have a bottle.
I was
going
going to say you probably don't want to be nipping from that flask.
No, that'll
while you're
dehydrate you on
hiking.
the hike.
Yeah, exactly. Rain jacket? Why?
Because we're caching in the Northwest. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. Maybe not a rain jacket. Maybe you want something as a, multiple layers there to put on as it gets a little chilly. You're going to want some sort of extra layer. If it's not a rain jacket, you can get wet. That's on you. An umbrella.
Literally.
Is Bryling.
When
Not the best in the woods, but feel free.
When I think rain jacket, poncho, backpack, I just have this vision in my head of Goldie Hawn and Private Benjamin.
Not a bad vision to have in your head, but anyways.
Now, as you're going along, remember, leave no trace.
Yeah.
Right? We've talked about leave no trace in geocaching. In fact, that's kind of where Sito, Katao comes from. How else do you pronounce it? Yeah.
Any of the above.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what you carry in, you have to carry out.
Mostly,
yeah.
That's true. Now, for human waste, you're going to want to go at, 100 yard or 100 feet, 200 feet away from your camp. You want to dig a 6 to 8 inch cat hole, do your business, bury it. You want to keep that away from water, right? You don't want to do this right near the river. So 200 feet away from water. Now, that could be a long way from where you're camping, but trust me, it's better for you. It's better for the animals.
And for everybody else downstream who wants to get water.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's definitely all some good advice there. I thought of something else when we were in the previous topic, when we were thinking about things that you keep near the top.
Oh, yes, please.
Another thing that you would keep accessible, so maybe outside pocket or near the top of your bag, probably outside pocket makes more sense, is spare batteries as a geocacher. Whether that's a spare power pack for your phone. Keats throws in there your GPS, and if you're using the GPS, you're going to want the spare batteries for it accessible. Right. Oh, some great advice in the chat about human waste. Do you want to bring up Brylang's first? So he says depth.
Go
ahead.
No, you got it.
He says depth of a hole for human waste depends on the soil. So that's a good point. Chris gave us the 6 to 8 inch cat hole 200 feet from water as a good general guideline. But Brian adds that you want to keep it in a layer that's going to biodegrade and not stay there forever. So that's a really good point. And Stephen Hoy has some really good advice. Please don't urinate in the caves.
Yeah.
It will stink forever.
Yes.
And I don't know anybody who's done that, but yeah, that's really good advice.
Yeah, exactly. Bryling says some areas require you to bag and remove all human waste. So that's especially in the Southwest.
Oh, in the drier.
You're not going to get enough rain to get that to decompose, right?
That's fair. Yep.
Bryling says Keats says bear spray. I saw bear and I immediately thought Bryling. I don't know why.
Wonder why.
The Keats bear says it's always good to pack. Bear spray is always good to pack on depending where you're going. Useful in Garibaldi Park, Burke Mountain, or Surrey. Just anywhere in downtown Surrey.
I was going to say downtown Vancouver, yeah. And SkyTrain
I would
stops,
say
all those kind of things.
Don't put bear spray in your backpack. You can get a nice little, I'll call it a holster, right? Keep bear spray available to you, because by the time you see a bear, it's usually going to be pretty close. You're not going to have time
Hold
to
on.
say,
Just
on
a
one
minute,
minute.
just a minute. I got right here. I got something for you.
Hold I've got
Something
3
special.
straps
You're gonna
until
Hold
love
on.
this.
Yes, this is great.
I thought
Yeah.
of you and I brought this.
Yeah, Land Monkey told me that you'd love this. Land Monkey, here's his address.
I think he's sleeping right now.
Yeah,
Go get
go
him.
check it out.
Check the tent.
Stevens is definitely in Surrey.
Yeah,
I mean, Keith says Surrey. I mean, in a lot of the urban areas in the Pacific Northwest, in our urban and suburban parks, there can be bears. They come
Yeah.
down out of the mountains. This is just where we live. Like this,
Right.
this is a thing. So I know for other folks who may live in other parts, they might be thinking, "What are you guys nuts?" But we actually, out here in the wilds of British Columbia, we do have bears wandering into our parks. So it is definitely a thing that can happen. But yeah, I think in Surrey, maybe you want it for a different reason than bears.
could be.
Hey, listeners, do you want to do an episode on what to do when you encounter a bear? Maybe that's something we should talk about as they're starting to awaken, right?
That's a good suggestion. I'm going to see if I can find a guest to come on and talk about wild animal encounters. I think I should be able to find somebody. I'm going to make a note of that. Continue talking amongst yourselves while I make myself a note.
Speaking about bears, Komakino says Costco has awesome bear spray. Comes with a nice belt clip.
Yeah,
And
but
you're going to
Costco,
want that belt clip, right?
Yeah, Costco, you get like a 12-pack though, right?
Well, for the bear and all its relations.
Yeah.
You get the family pack.
Do you talk about bear bangers? Because that's actually something else. I don't know if you've got that on your list or not.
Is that just in Bangor, Maine, or is that different?
No, and it's
This
nothing
is a
rude
family
either.
show.
Yeah. I knew you were going to go there.
To Bangor, Maine? I'd love to go to Bangor, Maine.
Yeah. No, I have not. I've not used bear spray, but I understand how it works. The bear bangers, just make noise and scare them away.
More or less.
So, is that what you put on Christmas presents and such in BC? Maybe just in Surrey?
Just in Surrey. Yeah. Man, any of our listeners, I know there's a few of our listeners who live in Surrey. I really hope they call in to 293-653 TFTC and leave Chris a message.
Yeah.
Hey, well, okay.
All right. I left myself a note, so now I'm going to remember to go do that.
All right. Well, Keith adds a note about your seaplanes pontoons. Don't spray them with bear spray. It's like seasoning for bears. It happened to a guy. Thankfully not Keats, but
That's different.
Yeah. Since I don't have a seaplane, I'm okay there.
Okay.
I don't even have a pontoon.
Brian Lang says bear bangers require training. You need to learn to shoot it between you and the bear. Otherwise, you overshoot, and the loud sound may cause the bear to run towards you.
That's just going to say that's not what you want.
Oh, okay. We've turned into a bear story here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So one more from Steven. I often carry bear bangers. Good for signaling your hiking partners when they get off track. But bear spray is the most reliable deterrent.
Okay, so you want to overshoot your hiking partner so that they run towards you.
They run towards you. I guess it would work the same way.
That's what I learned from this conversation.
Okay, now we've gotten into geographic wars.
Okay.
In the lower mainland.
You've made me hungry. Have you talked about food?
No, tell me a little bit about food.
You can burn a lot of calories when you're out hiking, especially going up steep hills to caches that shall not be named. Hiking can burn 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. I think those are U.S. calories, but I think Canadian calories are roughly the same. You should plan for about 1.5 times your normal food intake. And of course, hydrate with electrolytes, not just plain water.
Yep.
You need 2 or 3 liters a day. So food and water.
Yeah, that's a huge one, the hydration, and especially this time of year, winter, spring hiking, it's still cool out. You don't heat up as much and you don't think about hydrating as often, but hydrating with electrolytes is super duper duper important. And the same amount no matter what time of the year you're hiking. I mean, you might want to
Yeah.
drink a little more in the summer when you're sweating it out a bit more, but yeah, that 2 to 3 liters per day, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, people
anytime.
often think about, oh, it's cold, it's wet, I don't need to. Yeah, no, you need to be hydrated, even
Right.
in the cold winter months.
So make sure you have good snacks with you. You know,
Mhm.
you're gonna get more hungry than you normally do if you're hiking all day, right? So you need to have a good meal when you get there. And don't grab things from the store thinking, "Oh, this is interesting. I think I'll try it." And then end up, not having something you like after a long hike. So, yeah, experiment a little bit before you go.
There you go.
Um,
Interesting from Komakino
mhm.
here is a
Oh,
nuance I hadn't thought about, but super important. Komakino shares that he's diabetic, and so when he goes on hikes and outdoor caching trips, he needs to bring candy and carbs in case his blood sugars drop, they get low from all the exercise. So
Good tip.
um, that's obviously well, I would hope if you're diabetic, you know to do these kinds of things, but that's a great reminder, a great tip because I would not have thought of
Yeah.
mhm.
bringing that. I mean, maybe a good idea if you are, if you know that somebody you're going hiking with is diabetic, to bring some extra ones just in case.
Oh, good tip. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's just a good reminder that all of these things we mention, I mean, the serious things we mention, are general guidelines for the vast majority of people, but you need to know your own limits and your own needs and tailor these things to what you need, because you might have some very specific needs that we're not covering here.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Offer them for the bears.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
was going with Brylan goes, "Where can I get some candy and carbs?" Asking
Yes.
for a friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet he
Because,
is.
because they're a bear's best friends.
They are.
That's what it says.
Okay, we can't win
You,
here.
you guys having clicking wars there?
You gotta
Yes.
read quickly. Read quickly. Okay.
Oh, candies and carbs are the bear's best friend. So,
Yes.
whether you bring, a fresh stew that you just made and you want to bring
Mm.
it with you, or you're bringing something dehydrated that you're going to cook in a pot when you get there, you know, make sure it's something that you understand how to prepare, right? Don't bring something new like, oh, you just walked into the hiking store. I won't mention any particular brand stores here, right? The hiking store, and you go, oh, that looks really good. I want to try that. And then you look at it and you go, oh, I don't. You get out there and you realize I don't have what I need to cook this properly. So,
Yeah.
Ah, well, yeah, I mean, I guess depends, but yeah, definitely. One thing we do is we try if there's something new that we're going to try doing. And I don't mean like boil in the bag stuff because that's pretty straightforward.
right.
Add boiling hot water, sit in
Oh,
bag,
what
eat.
you're carrying in your backpack anyway.
Yeah. But if we've tried a few different things when we've gone backpacking, and we try them out at home once first,
Mhm.
just so that we understand. Okay, this takes about this long to cook. Um, oh yeah, no, we should have had this or we should have
Yeah.
done that. So yeah, it's really good to practice anything new for sure. That's good
Yeah.
advice, Chris.
It sounds like training, which, makes hikes more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Not just training what you cook, but training overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like trains?
Everybody loves a train. And,
Yeah.
you could backpack on a train just as you can on a trail, but it's not quite the same. So don't expect you're going to be able to get, I'm going to go back to the 20 miles. Don't think
Hmm,
you're going to be able to get 20 miles a day of hiking in. Mm-mm.
that's
I
a
Right.
don't
lot.
So,
think I'm going to get 20 miles in. I never
yeah.
think that.
Well, not
Unless
unless
I'm
you start
driving.
training. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or driving. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that there's some of our listeners, JT Coffee, who can do 20
Mhm.
miles in a day, but
Oh, she can do it before lunch, but
yeah,
yeah.
but not everybody can. But I think yeah, Keats made a comment earlier, and he said, to quote the BC Lottery, "Know your limit and play within it." So yeah, I
Oh,
think
There you
yes.
that's
go. Yeah.
The lottery.
definitely.
Lottery's a
But,
tax for people that aren't good at math.
But yes,
until
that's
you
good
win.
advice for hiking and training. And if you're doing your training, you'll have a sense of the distance you can reasonably cover in a day.
Mhm.
And remember that wherever you're backpacking, the terrain may be different than where you have trained, where you've practiced hiking.
Well,
Yeah.
So
and that's a great segue there,
yeah,
Land Monkey. Using Washington Trails Association WTA maps
Mm.
yeah,
will help you understand the distance you're looking to go between your campsites and your elevation changes. and maybe you can start to train to that.
That's a good idea.
Brylang threw in, I took a package of freeze-dried eggs one time. I didn't read it. Once rehydrated, you still had to cook them to make them into scrambled eggs. I had assumed it was already cooked, as would I.
There you go.
Rocky ate the eggs raw. You could.
Yep.
He drank them.
Well, that's
and then
right.
punched sides of beef.
He
So if
consumed
that's
them.
what you've got going,
It's a different training regimen, but yeah, it would
On
work.
the fly now.
Speaking of that idea, one of the things when I was going back a few years, but when we backpacked the West Coast Trail, our training regimen was that we would load up our backpacks with about an equivalent weight to what we would be taking on the West Coast Trail. And we were hiking up at one of the local parks here that has a pretty good incline on part of it. And that had us more than ready when we did the West Coast Trail. We're in pretty good shape. And it was good because what we didn't realize on the West Coast, well, we kind of knew, but we didn't understand what it would be like. There's ladders that you have to climb with a full backpack on, or you pass the backpack up and you figure out a system, but there's ladders, and that, midway through a 10-mile hike per day, the ladders can be a little wearing on you.
Yeah. Were there any chutes to go with them?
No.
Because when I was a kid, they always came together.
Yeah, no snakes either, but just ladders.
Okay. Did you have to roll dice to determine which ladder to go up?
No, but that's how you figured how far you were going to go each day.
Could you form a rudimentary lathe?
Perhaps.
Moving on.
Okay. So, Land Monkey, you broached the subject of backpacks.
I did.
You know what? You should get a pack that fits you.
Okay. Right now?
Go. Fine. Bye.
There's one in the garage. I can go get it.
Okay. You don't have to go far. Go to your hiking store. They're going to help you find a backpack that fits you. There's a backpack for every body type. Okay. Don't think that, one pack fits all. I'm only, 3 foot 4 inches tall, and I'm going to wear the same backpack as, 8 foot Land Monkey over here.
No, it's not true. Chris is not 3 foot 4 inches tall. I've met him.
3'6" at least.
Yeah.
If I'm wearing my good shoes.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my tall shoes today.
Yeah.
A backpack should never be more than 20% of your body weight.
Ooh, so I can carry a pretty hefty pack.
Yes, exactly. Me too.
I'm not sure it works that way, guys, but okay.
Oh, okay. Thought this,
You
I'm
want
gonna pack on some weight this
thought
spring.
this
so I
weight
can
finally
carry a
came in
really
advantage
big
for someone.
backpack.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Doesn't work
okay.
that way.
to be the most comfortable, you're going to want that weight more on your hips than on your shoulders. So if you pack the bag, as we mentioned earlier, you're going to put the weight down toward the bottom, and that's going to sit on your hips. Usually there's going to be a hip belt that's going to come around.
Yeah.
And keep everything secure, because if
Helps
that
a
back, as you're
lot.
walking, that backpack sliding back and forth, you're just making back bacon.
And if I can give a little bit of advice for shopping for backpacks, and I see that Keats is throwing some advice, and he may have the same advice I'm going to have, but I'll throw mine out first, and we'll see what Keats has to say. My advice is, when you are in the store shopping for a backpack, obviously try them on, but when you try them on, get somebody in the store to help you fit it, adjust the straps properly, and then get somebody in the store to put some serious weight in the backpack, so that you can feel not just like, how does it fit on me? Oh yeah, when there's nothing in the backpack, they're all comfortable.
Yeah.
But put some weight in and see how is it actually sitting on your hips, get them to adjust it. And if that one doesn't work, try a different one and take your time. It's a big investment. They're not cheap, and you don't want to keep buying new ones. So take your time, work with the folks in the store, get one that really works for you. Now, what did Keith say?
And I was going to say, match the type of backpack to your type of hike.
Yes.
Right? If you're just looking at day hikes, that's going to be different than a multi-day hike.
Yeah.
Okay. Keats says, I used to work at a certain outdoor retailer that did pack fitting. I got trained for that. So there are people in these stores, the hiking store you can go to.
Yeah.
We have to go open that store now.
Ooh.
That will help you get it fit for your body type. So
And he'll help you even if he's not on the clock, because he's just that kind of guy.
he is. So let's put Keith's address in here. And
It's 127.0.0.1.
oh,
You're a
hey, how
funny
did you
guy.
know?
That's my address. Wait a
Hey.
minute. Keith? Yeah.
Starcacher says canned food without a pop top needs a can opener, or
Huh.
you get your evening worth of entertainment trying to open it.
And that burns a few more calories.
Yes. And you just may have extra iron in your diet. Steven says the North Coast Trail is wonderful and berry.
Hmm.
Yes. All right.
Komakino says there should be a show like this on proper first aid kits to get.
Well, if you just heard my keyboard clacking, that's because I just made another note for myself for that to be another topic for a future show. So thank you.
We had one. We had a great first aid show. Boy, it's been a long time now.
Yeah. We're
With a
due.
real doctor. Yeah, it's overdue.
Yeah.
Let's get another doctor on and say what we really need in our first aid kit, because you buy a first aid kit, it's all Band-Aids,
Indeed.
and that's not really what you need.
Yeah.
Okay, backpacks. Don't fill your backpack with all Band-Aids. That's not what you need.
Band-Aids, bullets, and beans. No, that's different.
That's
That's prepping.
A 55 to 65 liter backpack is going to be what most people are looking for a multi-day hike. Now, if you're just doing day hikes, it's going to be different. If you're looking to go on the West Coast Trail or the Pacific Coast Trail for days on end, you're going to need a different pack for that. So, and packs change over time. So yes, they're expensive, but make sure you have the right pack for what you're doing.
Indeed.
Now, one of the T's, well, one of the T's is the essentials, and one of the essentials is shelter.
Good point.
Shelter is, depends on the time of year, where you're going, how long you're going out. You may do something like a freestanding tent, right? You put the poles in and boom, it's all stands up almost on its own. It's completely rigid. Make sure you secure them. Those tend to be, they're going to be very good. They're going to keep the rain out. They're going to keep the bugs out. Not going to do much for the bears. But nothing is.
You'll be a bear enchilada.
That's right. But those tents tend to be a little heavier. Some people like the non-freestanding, basically, rope between the trees, put a tarp over it, work out. Those are a lot lighter, a little more flexible, but you've got to find the right spot to put them up.
Yeah.
A lot of people like hammocks, tying between a tree, put a quilt in there, not a sleeping bag, because you know what? It's really hard to zip up a sleeping bag in a hammock and not roll right on out.
That's a different approach. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. So get a good quilt. You can put a rain fly over top of that, and there you've got your own little tent above the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bear piñata.
And Brian adds hammocks require an underquilt and a quilt,
underquilt,
or alternatively a sleeping bag. So
yes, you could have a sleeping bag. They're just don't, they're hard to zip up. But
you don't have to zip it up either.
Right. Well, in a hammock, they're difficult to zip up. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
If you're hammock camping, you probably want a quilt over a sleeping bag. Now, sleeping bags, let's jump into this. You're going to want something, right? There are a myriad of sleeping bags.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. Keith says, I have the Spark 1 tent from the hiking store. Super coffin-like, but super light. Requires a footprint.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the footprints, you think I'll just get a cheap tarp from
Mhm.
Hobo Freight or
Mhm.
something. If you can, get the footprint design for your tent. It makes a big difference.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
So
really
usually a
does.
little thicker, gives you a little more insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian Lang says sleeping bags is useless in a hammock. Any
Yeah.
insulation between you and the hammock is useless as it gets compressed. You want a quilt underneath you to protect your bottom from the cold.
There you go.
Yeah, my back gets really cold if I don't have something underneath me
Mhm.
that way.
Good to know.
So know where you're going.
Yeah.
What it's going to be like. What's the weather? What's the temperature? Right? Sleeping bags are rated by temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There are liners you can put in them. Liners make a huge difference. So you can get liners that, it can boost the warm factor of your bag or your quilt, and it keeps them cleaner, right? Those big sleeping bags are hard to clean. If you have a liner that's a little thinner, you could toss that into maybe one of the big commercial machines and let it go. Now, so many types of sleeping bags. We're going too long here. We need to speed it up, right? You've got down and you've got synthetic insulation. Down is bigger, is bulkier, but it's lighter. Synthetic is more compact, but it's heavier. So depends on what you can fit in there. Pay attention to the temperature ratings and don't go below that. If you've got a 30-degree bag, don't expect that, in 20-degree weather, that's going to be good enough. You're going to get cold. Something I learned that I did not know there are gender-specific bags.
Sure.
There are bags made for men and women. I've always had the rectangular unisex bag, which, is great until it gets cold. And then you roll over or you move your feet out and you hit those cold spots. You want a bag that's going to fit you pretty tightly. And men tend to lose heat more in their chest and shoulders, and women tend to lose heat more in their hips. So get a bag that's insulated in those spots. You want a gender-specific bag. And you want
are designed
form-fitting bag. Funny thing how we're designed different. So the closer fitting the bag, the warmer you're going to be.
Fantastic. We got food, we got shelter, and we got a place to sleep, and we're out having fun with our friends.
That's right. And you're at a beautiful lake and you're enjoying the evening, reheating your eggs for the third time to make sure they're fully cooked.
So maybe some other things to take with you is, talking about being at a beautiful lake and places like that is bring something that you can take some pictures because you're going to take only pictures and leave only footprints. So definitely think about your camera gear, and depending what you do, if you're a vlogger, you might want to be bringing a little more gear, or if you're a very super enthusiast hobbyist photographer, you're going to have maybe a little more gear and you'll have to figure out how to pack that. But for most of us, most folks, your phone will do just fine, but just bring the charging cable and the charger, because
they don't have those out there in the trees.
They don't. And once it starts to get cold at night, your battery charge won't last as long. So good things to know.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong. Mini Mag says, thanks for the show tonight about bears. There's nothing wrong with taking the big camera, because as the bear's charging towards you, you can always throw it at them.
Or have some amazing pictures of being eaten by a bear.
Exactly.
Jam that DSLR body down his throat.
That's right. I mean, just think of all the likes you'll get on YouTube with that video.
Well,
somebody else video, but
somebody else will, as they find the camera and take out the memory card. But
out of the bear poop,
oh, that's funny. So you can take the big camera, get some great pictures, get some good starry sky night shots, but know that, maybe you've got to give up a little something else to take that. You can only carry so much weight, or get a really strong friend and bring them along.
I was just going to say, sneak the heavy stuff into your friend's bag when they're not looking.
Keats says, on my 16,000 kilometer road trip, I'm shooting a documentary.
Wow.
Nice.
Good for you, Keats. Looking forward
Holy
to that.
cow.
That sounds like across Canada and up and down and all around.
Wow. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight about backpacking with bears. The bear essentials of backpacking.
Ooh, nicely
Oh.
played.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
We did. Absolutely. And I want to take a moment to thank Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism, our two corporate Denali level sponsors. Remember that landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. Remember, they do ship orders online daily. And don't forget, they're about to put in their order to shop geocaching. So if you want something, get that in right away. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com. Plan your trip up to Gold Country. So much to see, so much to do. Beautiful area. Look at that picture behind me. You want to go and see that, don't you?
I do.
All right. Well, start your planning. Let's go on an adventure. All right. And folks, we want to thank all our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks, Gold Country Geotour, Team Squirrel, Groovy Owl, and Cashly, the geocaching app. And I guess Waymarkly too, really, if you think about it.
Mhm.
If you want to know more about supporting this show, click that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website just like
LG 9000.
And Kid Vegas 19.
and Wino Seattle.
Sprouter. See how it sprouted right up?
Wow.
Indeed.
CRS 98.
The
Oh, he was on last week.
Geo Travelers.
Sorry. Genies.
Kev MacD.
3 hams and a rose.
B. Pendragon.
Spill Your Drink. White Coaster.
There you go. Seaback Tribe.
How about you talks to rocks?
How about you, Dak?
How about on a boat?
How about T-Sayer?
Broncos fan for life.
GSM ×2.
The man of math, Limax.
Korsgat.
And our favorite rapping geocacher, MC3 Cats.
Great geocaching name, Bad Lunch, Gas Station Tuna.
Just finding our way.
And making stuff to hide for geocaches, it's our friends at Logwork.
Fairwood, West.
The Camp Clan.
The GeoNav Pros.
What about Minerve? No, MNerve.
Trexer.
Alarobrick.
Keats 94.
Team Noltex.
Sege Hove.
Greenwords.
Kennel Barb.
Boomer 365.
Ackerdock.
Donners.
We're all staring at you. The Tickamagnet.
Peach of Washington.
Antaeus.
Dora Moore. Puzzles are dumb.
Kitty Quest.
I don't know what to say after that. Skyhawker.
Just threw a little comment in there for Dora Moore. Ari 54321.
Subway Mark.
Dormore was going to comment on bears. Maybe she's a bear expert.
Yeah, she's a bear wrestling expert. We know that.
She's
go,
wrestled them.
All right.
Oh.
Well, hey, he's caching NW. He's Land Monkey or Land Monkey GC. Depends on where you go, but you can find him most every places. And I'm with Sand, and we're all on cachingnw.com/hosts or the geocaching.com message center.
I like that. Hey, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. If you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. In either case, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, or even a review. Those reviews are helpful. You can always call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or you know what? Even though we may not need it on 2 days out of the next couple of months, buy us a Forest Service pass anytime of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show an even livelier chat. This show's produced by Chris Humpenauer, Jim Polwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2022 by Chris Humpenauer. And folks, stay tuned for
The after show.
We made it.
We did it.
GeoNav Pros wants to hear Jay run through that list. One
Not
breath.
tonight. Maybe we'll plan to try that again one night. I have to practice a little bit.
You got to work up to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, of course, you can use the hashtag FATAS if you want to bring something up in this time of the show, and podcast baking. Hashtag podcast baking.
We did have some podcasts.
I saw some of those go by. Yeah.
Oh, that's backpack. Sorry, I missed it.
That's all right.
Where was it? Here it is. Blueberry popovers for National Blueberry Popover Day.
How appropriate.
I should just pop over and get some blueberries.
You really
There you
should.
go.
Indeed.
That's from Melancholy or Monkey Cakes.
I can kind of swing right near their place on my way to work in the morning. So
There
You know,
go.
there's nothing like a blueberry popover in the morning.
It could be good.
Indeed. Early on, it wasn't. Whoop, there we go. Who's going to fight me
there
for
it is.
clicking on this?
One,
My hands
two,
are
three.
There you go. Gomikino wanted to comment right off the beginning, Wits End, that you've got moves.
Maybe, but Komakino has movies, and those are even better.
Even better. There you go. There was a lot of other useful stuff. There's a little story here from Stephen Hoy. It says, I once shot a banger at a bear. It stepped back a meter, and then it kept coming towards us. So I think that is to emphasize Stephen's earlier comments that the bear spray is probably the most effective deterrent.
Yeah. I misread
Or
that
that
at
those
first.
only work in Surrey.
Yeah, I misread that comment at first. It says, I once shot a ranger. And I thought, well, that's not good.
Don't do that. Aw.
Oh, wow.
There won't be any popovers left in the morning. There won't be any popovers left in the morning. Popovers left in.
All
Left in
right.
what?
I'll just go to work.
Oh, we better go over now, is what she's saying.
I think that's what I'm
Oh,
reading.
that's it. All right, gotta go.
Keats has a favorite backpacking experience. Go. All right. He's encouraging everybody else in the chat to throw in their favorite backpacking experience. Awesome. And there was another piece of medical advice from Komikino that I thought was really good.
That was good.
Get to that. He said, let others know of any medical issues, I would say, or conditions you might have so that they know how to assist in case you have any troubles. I think that's really, really important advice. I think that would go along with the training aspect of the 3 T's probably.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right.
Severe restricted cash flow. If anybody could help with that, that'd be great.
While we're getting to some of the comments, folks are starting to answer Keith's question. Before we get to that, I want to just shout out for myself. Brand new episode of Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures coming out tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And it's the first in our new series of videos about our adventures geocaching in Bermuda. So those will be pretty cool. You might want to check those out.
Did you find the triangle? Oh, wait, we've got to watch the show. Never mind.
You're gonna have to watch the show.
Yeah.
We had some challenges that we attempted, and if you watch through the whole series, you'll see how we did.
Chris and I went to a WSGA event on Saturday and ran into a few people there. Met Zato Ichi, who says he enjoys our show and your vlogs as well, Land Monkey.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, my thanks.
Always fun to meet people at the events.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of that, had the funniest experience last weekend. Yeah. I don't know, or maybe 2 weekends ago. Anyways, one of these recent weekends, Laura and I were doing some geocaching, walking through an urban park in sort of the Burnaby, Vancouver area. And there was a couple of adults who were taking a group of what do you call them? Beavers or cubs, I guess, the little mini scouts.
Yeah.
out and doing some orienteering with them. It was really cute because you could overhear them talking about, oh no, turn your map around. And it was neat just watching them, and they were doing a fantastic job. The leaders were, and one of them made a comment to us about asking if we wanted to borrow a map or something because we were looking at our phone looking for where the geocache was. So that was kind of funny, and we joked a little bit. And then as they walked past, one of the leaders went, "Hey, you're a land monkey. We watch your videos." I'm like, "Oh, hi." It was neat. So it was kind of neat to meet somebody who recognized me, and I was very thankful for the work that everybody who is a Cubs leader or Scouts leader and anybody like that. But I was, thankful to them that they were such good sports with those little kids and keeping all the ducklings rounded up. And taking them for a good adventure in the woods. I think that's good stuff.
Investing in children, that's fantastic.
Yeah. A thumbs up to everybody who does that.
Yeah.
All right. What else have we got here?
Well, should we read through some of these?
Let's go through some of the answers to Keats's challenge here.
Some fantastic places there I've seen.
Okay. We're starting off with Stephen Hoy, 10 days on the Suncoast Trail.
Sunshine Coast Trail. That's on my bucket list. Yeah.
Where is the Sunshine Coast Trail?
It's on the coast.
It goes along the Sunshine Coast. It's north of Vancouver. If you watch my last series of videos, it starts on the Sunshine Coast, so you can get a sense of kind of the terrain in the area there.
Okay. Bryling
has Mount Assiniboine in 2003, Banff National Park. That closed behind them due to forest fire danger. Super smoky air with fires burning less than 30 kilometers from them. Still an awesome 5-day hike. Yeah, that's a challenging hike. That's a really good one.
Bryling also says Mount Robson or Berg Lake is my all-time favorite hike. I've hiked there 3 times.
That's a beautiful area.
And Skyline Trail in Jasper National Park has to be one of the best for views.
There's a Skyline Trail in E.C. Manning Park in British Columbia that is also a spectacular trail with amazing views.
Wet Coaster says hike. 6-day hike in the Forbidden Plateau on Vancouver Island.
Ah, beautiful area. Beautiful.
It didn't sound like you're supposed to be there.
That's a spectacular area in what's that park called? It's one of the provincial parks. Stephen will correct me. I can't remember which park that is, but anyways, on Vancouver Island, beautiful area. But that's one of the areas where there are a lot of SAR calls that go out to folks hiking in that area. So again, if you're going to do that hike, definitely your 3 Ts.
Mm-hmm.
Any hike, but that one for sure.
Kitty Catch says, not exactly backpacking, but we went burro packing in the southern Saharas a number of years ago. Sierras. Sorry, what did I say? Never mind.
Saharas. That's a totally different area.
Yeah.
A little drier.
That's a dessert.
But the Southern Sierras a number of years ago.
Much fun and
beauty. Yeah, no kidding.
Nice.
That would be really cool to go burro packing or another one.
Now we have to do a new show.
Llama packing. I've heard of that.
Keats. They're heavy. I don't know how to pack them.
Stephen and Keats both jumped on the answer. It's the Strathcona Park. That's the area I was trying to think of. Thank you, guys. It's good to have friends.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And Bryling got in there too.
Yep. Thank you, Brian.
Keats says there's also a Skyline Trail in Cape Breton.
There you go. All right. Were there any other ones that we missed?
I think that covers the most of it.
Okay. And then just a comment about leading scouts or beaver scouts from Brian.
It's like herding cats up Blue Scree.
But far more rewarding in the long run.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, folks, thanks for joining us. And until next week, get out, get your backpack, and go hiking and caching.